star, and if I look at these stars any longer, I'm going to start naming them after snacks.
Cosmic transmission incoming. Initiating multi-dimensional scan. Signature identified, Nadine Royale. She carries a high-frequency resonance entwined with sound alchemy, divine redirection, and creative ascension. Her imprint includes founder status of Ascendi, a galactic clothing line designed to elevate vibration through fashion, and creator of Nadine Royale Studios, a multidimensional space devoted to sonic healing and artistic activation.
Let's tune into that ship, shall we? Hello, I'm Captain LA here of the Ethereal Voyager.
Hello, I'm Nadine Royale from the Love Ship.
Awesome. You're the first person I'm meeting out here in my travels this time.
That's awesome.
And I think the name of your ship is fitting. The energy right now seems to be in the air of love. But the ultimate kind of love. The universal type of love. Do you feel that energy?
Absolutely.
Yes. I think the world is really starting to embrace love.
Yeah, we need it. The world needs it.
Yes. And so I feel it. Awesome. Well, it's great to connect with you. And since I've been out here for a while, we've come up with a fun little game.
Okay.
And we're going to play that game. It's just a spin of the wheel, and it has questions. And whatever it pops on, you can answer that question.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. And the cosmic wheel of wisdom.
Okay, I like it.
Now let's begin. And let's see what you get. Okay. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
I think my piece of advice would be don't give up and don't believe the lies people are telling you. I think I would basically tell myself, like, you can achieve what you want and your dreams, and you are good enough, and you are worthy of your goals. I think that was something when I was little that I didn't hear enough.
Yeah, I think I heard something more recently where someone was talking about having immature parents. And that struck me. I was like, I never thought of it that way. But we're kind of all just trying to figure out life. But we get screwed up in the end.
Right.
And it's like, we have to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I have an amazing mommy that's always encouraged me and is my rock, you know. For me, it was more just moving to a different country and being with people that didn't understand me, and so I didn't really fit in. And so it was a long time I didn't fit into the Earth world because I am from a different galaxy. And so, you know, I'm from the love ship, right? And people weren't very nice to me. They didn't want my love. But now I'm learning to find my tribe and vibe with the people that are on the love ship and reprogramming old thought patterns that were put into me by matrix mentality and negative thoughts, you know? So, yeah.
Yes, negative energy is very powerful. But also light, right? Love.
That's is more powerful.
Yeah. Sometimes we forget that, right? I mean, when you're going through stuff, and especially when you feel like you're different, you don't fit in, nobody gets you.
Right.
It's like, all right, well, I'm trying to be like this embodiment of love, this good person, this caring, understanding person.
Uh-huh.
But that gets taken advantage of
Right.
quickly.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of people when you're different, they're afraid to be themselves because they want to be, accepted and fit in. And so they don't express themselves to their fullness. And I've always been the type of kid that doesn't care, and I'm creative, I'm loud, I'm weird. And so, I didn't really fit in, but I think I learned later that it's okay. It's okay to be different.
Absolutely. So would you say you resonate with being a black sheep?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm learning now
And
how to integrate again, but I, for a long time, was definitely out.
oh yeah. Oh yes, I totally understand that. Um I also had to learn that being different was like actually a superpower, right?
Mm-hmm.
um just sometimes when you're like confident or you're just unapologetically yourself, because well, like for me, I didn't really have any options. I was just like, I came out like this,
That's right.
take it or leave it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And people are either really gonna love it or really hate it.
Mm. Well, we love it. We
And
love it here on the
yeah,
Love Ship.
yes. And so, but I had to understand that, people who are irritated by that, mm, that's actually a good thing, right?
Mm.
For them to see, what is it about that, shining your light.
Yeah, I found that a lot of the things that I got pushback on was actually other people's hurts projected onto me. So when people would, I don't know, whatever they would call me, too many things. I was bullied a lot, so I can't really think of all the things, but they would say, they call me a Nazi, or they would say that I can't sing, I sound like a dad, or whatever, just things like that, right? And I realized that was people that were hurt projecting their insecurities onto me. And it took me time to really analyze and be like, oh, this wasn't about me. This was me just being free and them being uncomfortable because I was doing the thing they were told not to do. So, I think as artists, we experience that a lot because the world doesn't really get artists, and they're like, nah, get a real job, do this, do that. And it's like, it is a real job. We do our work.
Yeah, I can absolutely resonate with that experience more recently over the past, it's been like 6 years. Wow.
Hmm.
It's been a crazy ride, but really like embracing who I am, stop trying to be like everyone tells me I'm supposed to be, do this, do that. This is how you be an adult, right?
Hmm.
And just saying, you know what? Well, actually, it wasn't me. It was the universe that
Right.
said, hey, no,
Yeah.
you're not living your truth. You're not being authentically yourself.
Right.
So we're gonna pretty much just put up a brick wall. You cannot pass go.
Mm.
Uh,
Those brick walls hurt.
everything,
They hurt.
whoa, everything you ever built in your entire life stripped away.
Oh my, that's hard.
Oh yeah,
Those
God,
tower moments hurt.
yeah, that was a huge one for me. I was like, wow, this
Hmm.
is crazy.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful.
Hmm.
Actually, it was a beautiful moment, and so
Because then you
I really,
break into your new moment.
yes, yes. Well, not without some resistance, though. I will say,
I get
I'm
it.
very, fixed. Once I have my mind made up on something, I just go for it. But
Right.
I had to learn to ride the wave of the universe.
Yes. You gotta ride the wave. I've been riding the synth wave lately. I've been getting into vaporwave. I've never been down that rabbit hole, but that's vibes. I've been just hanging out there. So yeah,
Yeah,
be on a good wave that makes you happy.
yeah, and yeah, many of us resist redirection, but you know, it's intentional and it's purposeful.
Hmm.
And so, how has redirection in your life uh, changed your mindset about your purpose, your passion, what's possible?
Well, I feel I'm a black and white thinker. So, like you said, once you set your mind on something, that's where you are. That's how I am. So, once I set my mind, okay, that's it. That's what it looks like. And, I was trained in industry standard, so to speak. So, I was trained in what the industry considers excellence. And I realized after a while that that might not actually be excellence, but it's more commercialism, which there's nothing wrong with commercialism, but my music is not about commercialism in the sense of that's not why I make it to begin with. Sure, I want to, you know, be compensated and run my businesses and all those things, but the heart of my music is to heal and to tell a story that resonates and to uplift. So in whatever films I make or shows I do or whatever songs I sing or write, there's always an intention behind it. So I think the redirection for me was understanding that my path doesn't look the traditional industry standard path, and it doesn't look, I've been signed and dropped by a label and shelved and all those things, and I've been with different agencies and left, and it wasn't the path, I guess, that I was supposed to take. And then I started Nadine Royale Studios in Ascendi, and it's different being independent because there's no roadmap. You just have to kind of go and follow whatever God has, which is a blessing, but sometimes it can get scary and lonely because it's not what it looks like for other people, and they don't understand, and they'll say, well, why aren't you doing like this, how you said, why aren't you doing this? And I'm like, well, because that's not where they want me. So I'm learning to take the redirection where it flows, where I'm in alignment versus pushing and forcing, because I was pushing and forcing for a long, long time and I burnt myself out. So I was like, I'm just going to go with what I know, my purpose. I know I am here. I know who I am. And I'm just going to walk in that alignment. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks because I know who I am. So that's how I took the redirection.
Well, yeah, and I think that is how we're all supposed to take it, right?
Hmm.
It's a journey, it's a process, but I mean, when you're doing something that's meaningful,
Hmm.
then it's meaningful for a reason because not everybody's doing it. And so
Hmm.
it's like you can either choose the path of quick success, or you can actually choose the path of leaving a legacy, something substantial,
Yes.
something that touches the world. So it's
Yes.
like, it's a hard decision for people to understand when you choose the route of like really being authentic. Like, oh my God, that's so radical. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't get that. But
Hmm.
I mean, I totally can relate and understand that, yeah, what I'm doing right now, what I'm building and creating, I had to really go inward and be like, okay,
And it's so cool and
nobody else,
creative, and nobody's doing it. And I love it.
yeah, it's like nobody else understands the vision, but if you can see it, that's the one thing I learned. If you can clearly see it, then it's already happened, you
That's
know?
right. That's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really plugging into. I think a lot of us see the visions, and we already see those timelines and those things, and that's why you can't share it with everybody. You just have to keep it to
Yeah, I learned
yourself.
that. Oh yeah,
Because
I
people think
definitely
you're
learned that.
crazy. Because a lot of dreamers, they call us dreamers and they like, you crazy. But then once it materializes in this timeline, then they're like, oh, well, no, she was determined. And it's like, no, like I just knew what I was here to, you sent here to do. And I think a lot of people that are holding on to their vision and manifesting their vision and are in the space of where people can't see it yet, they'll just be called crazy or delusional. And, it's not delusion, it's just faith. So, yeah, I get it.
Yes. So everything I feel like happens in life is intentional.
Hmm.
Every little thing.
Hmm.
Um, so even just these conversations that we're having, and just being in the energy of love. It's
Mm.
sending out love to the world, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's quantum mechanics. Every little shift creates a ripple that
Mm.
leads to something greater.
I love
So,
that.
yes. So, what helped you push past your fear of uncertainty?
Living in the wish fulfilled. Just staying in the space of my manifestation, even if it hadn't shown itself in the 3D yet.
Mm.
So, meditation or visualization or prayer or whatever people do to connect to that place, I think is so important, because if you just listen or watch the 3D and you get discouraged and get caught up in it, then you're just going to keep going with that wave. But in order to surpass it, you have to keep your mind on things above, not below. So for me, the uncertainty, I think I'm a I'm a very spiritual person. So for me, God is very important. And, obviously that's what keeps me sane. But whatever the practices that people do, I think it's important to stay above your mind on thoughts that are beautiful, thoughts that are empowering, thoughts that are strong and not fear based, because those will suck you into a lower dimension you don't want to hang out in.
Yes, low vibrational.
Yeah, and I mean, we're human, and I have low vibrational thoughts. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm always love and light. Like, sometimes I have to, like, I'm a human, but I try my best to transmute them because they're not healthy for me. Like, I lived for a long time in that state of thoughts that weren't very good, and I realized they were ruining my life, and I was like, I gotta do something about that. So I started training my mind, and kind of like how you go to the gym, I started training my mind and was like, okay, you're going to give me nice thoughts. You're going to give me
Yeah.
empowering thoughts. And also watching what you take in, I think is important. Like your mental diet, like what are you watching,
Mm.
what are you consuming, because there's a lot of things that have subliminal things in it that you don't even know. And so I had to get selective about what I watch or listen or who I hang out with, or, just had to get on the love ship.
Yeah. So, yes, to that point, what we take in is so important. Like
Mm-hmm.
everything is a frequency, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're an artist, you know this.
Mm-hmm.
Everything around us is frequency. So even, tuning into whatever or scrolling on social media and just, I don't know. I'm a horrible person to say about that because I literally don't do social media.
That's
I
good.
barely watch TV. Um,
And
for
that's
like a
why,
whole 6 months last year, I literally watched, like, listen to nothing but brown noise. Like, I couldn't
yeah,
even
that's so
watch anything.
good. That means that you have like a really good vibration then, because then you're not like influenced. That's good.
Well, yeah, one thing I did learn about, which I had to embrace actually, is the fact that I like to say I live in a bubble. I
Mm-hmm.
live in my spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have been allowed to kind of exist in this reality. Yes, I exist in the actual physical world,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been kind of protected in a way where I can keep sort of idealistic way of life. And that's because I do not take in a lot of external information.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. And that taught me actually that, along with science, of course. So if I can nerd out real quick, have
Yeah.
you ever heard about fractals?
Yeah. But talk about them.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you've heard of superposition?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in science, okay, maybe we came from this Big Bang or whatever, however it started. But since we all came from one place, we are always connected to that one place. We're always connected to everything in the entirety of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
We all came from the same thing. So what that means is we literally have the entire history the universe within one atom in our
Mm.
body.
Mm.
We are made up of way too many atoms to count.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we have the entire knowledge of the universe within us. So there really isn't a need to seek any external information as
Mm.
long as you go inward and tap into this wealth of knowledge, or they like to say is, I guess that's what the Akashic Records is.
Yeah,
Um,
that's good.
but yeah, you just really go inward and connect with yourself and connect with nature. For me is the biggest thing, because connecting with nature kind of reminds me of my place in this whole ecosystem of things and how we're all connected.
I love nature. I love the ocean. I'll actually be there tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. But the ocean is my safe space. I think that when I'm out of balance and when I'm a mess, like I just lay and just literally just lay on the sand and let the waves come and go, because it like calms me down. I don't know what that's called. I think it's called ocean therapy or something, but it calms me down. Like maybe I was a mermaid. I think I was a mermaid.
Ocean therapy, interesting. They have a term for everything.
I don't know if that's the
Um,
term. It's also aqua
well,
therapy.
it sounds legit. So, but yeah, I can resonate with that as well. I live in Atlanta, Georgia now,
Oh,
uh,
nice.
but I am from the Jersey Shore. So grew up by the
Ah,
beach. Yes,
nice.
my entire life. That's home, and being in the South was strange because it's
Mm.
like, where's the water? Although I did
Mm-hmm.
find it,
Oh, good.
and that's my happy place. Yeah,
Good.
it's like 4.5 hours away, but it's worth it.
Right.
Yes. But speaking of frequencies, when you're creating music,
hmm
what is your process?
I like to, well, for me, it's like how a computer has different tabs open. That's how my brain is. So there's like one tab with music playing at all times. And so I basically hear the music all day long. And I kind of know when it's a song that I'm supposed to write. And so then when I hear it, then if I'm busy, I voice memo it into my phone, um, or I sit down and go to the studio and record it. But the way I like to receive the information is I try to create a sacred space and a calm space so that I can just listen and pull it down. When I was like first starting, I started writing since I was like 10. So I was writing for a long time, and it was always chaotic in my mind because it was like, oh, I have to write that down. I have to write that down. And I was like, okay,
Mm,
that's not calm. Like you can voice memo it and come back to it later. And so once I started my spiritual journey and really cultivating just the inner peace, the flow was much simpler. And I think that I wrote a lot of songs from pain and a lot of deep pain, and they're amazing songs, and I'm grateful for them. But I think I'm transitioning into a space where I want to just let it flow, and I want to maybe move into a more funner space. Because I know that, great artists sometimes have the deepest pain, and that's why they make great music. And I think that's wonderful. But I think I'm in a place now where I want to move into a lighter frequency. Does it, if you understand what I mean by that?
well, yeah, I mean, I just said there's multiple frequencies, and
Right.
yeah, that pain frequency is one frequency, and
Yeah.
feeling good, happy, love, that's another frequency.
Right.
But they're both useful, right? And
Absolutely.
I actually heard someone say the other day that pain or sadness was also a superpower. I was like, I thought that was very interesting.
Really.
But they said it's in the alchemizing of the sadness, the pain, that makes it a
Mm.
superpower. And that's generally the superpower that artists have, right?
Right. Yes. That's so true. And I think that's how spirituality found me, because I didn't understand that. I just was like, okay, I'm sad. Let me write a script. Let me write a song. Let me write this. So that was my coping mechanism as a child. And so then when I grew up into an adult, I realized I was like, oh, like I'm transmuting the pain into art. And then I had to learn how to not associate the art with just pain, because art is a
Mm.
beautiful thing. So I had to kind of like deconstruct that, you know? So, but yeah, that's powerful. I think alchemizing is a powerful thing.
Yeah. When I first started writing, because that's like my median,
Hmm.
um, I started as a kid, and I started because my parents took me to a therapist, and they were like, "Yeah, you need to write," and I
Hmm.
was like, "Okay." So that's when I started writing.
Hmm.
It was so funny because I was like a kid, and I was like, "I'm gonna encrypt this," so I put it in like Wingding, and I was thinking like
Yes.
my parents wouldn't understand, and they went and decoded it. I was like, "Okay,
Wow.
I'm gonna have to get a notebook." But I was just started out just writing my feelings, and then it turned to poetry, then it turned to short stories, then it
Mm.
turned to like books, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
Mm.
yeah, once you start the process of letting it out, then you open up the space for creativity, like
Hmm.
further creativity, not just from pain, but now the
Mm.
doors are open and you can pull from all of these resources that
Right.
are everywhere.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, on that note, uh, have a little quick segment. I'm going to play a tune
Okay.
and come up with either you can come up with I'll say come up with a line for it, just based off of the vibe you feel.
A line like lyrics?
Yeah, lyrics, sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't have to sing it, you can say it,
Okay. Okay.
whatever. Okay. All right. And, okay. So,
All right. Mhm.
let's play this sound.
Okay.
Oh, wrong one. All right, let's play this sound.
Oh, I was like, okay.
Or we can play that one. It doesn't matter. Yeah, let's do it.
No, let's play the other
Oh,
one.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay. Because it doesn't have a
Oh,
melody.
it's in the
Okay.
okay.
The city light, just you and I. We're vibing at the speed of light. That's what came.
I like that. That's good. I love it.
Just you and I. We're vibing at the speed of light.
Yeah,
That's what came.
that's awesome. Loved it.
Thank you.
Single in the stars? Tired of swiping through wormholes with no luck? Well, strap in, Space Cadet. The Intergalactic Council proudly presents AI Matchmaker Space Edition. Using state-of-the-art quantum love algorithms, we scan across dimensions, star systems, and alternate timelines to find your perfect cosmic counterpart. Martian mystic, Venetian poet, time-traveling trickster with commitment issues, we've got a match for everyone. Simply upload your soul frequency to let your love language, telepathic transmissions, energy exchanges, or good old-fashioned mixtapes, and let our AI handle the rest. With a 99.9% compatibility rate, side effects may include interstellar, long-distance relationships, spontaneous astral projections, and cosmic deja vu. Your out-of-this-world love story awaits. Sign up now and get one free celestial love consultation, because even star-crossed lovers need a little AI intervention. AI Matchmaker Space Edition, because love should travel at the speed of light.
All right. Because I did that, it took. Oh, there we go. Awesome. And next, let's put it up here. Okay. So next thing
Okay.
is musical charades, right? So
Okay.
I will describe energy in musical terms, and you have to
Okay.
guess the feeling, right?
I love it. All right, let's do it.
Okay. So, the energy you feel when you're in perfect harmony with the universe. It's like the climax of a symphony in your soul.
And this is a like
Feeling like
noun, a
yeah.
feeling,
Like yeah, what is that feeling?
ecstasy.
Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, close enough.
You said climax in alignment. That's what you
Yeah,
said.
okay. Yeah, that's okay. So like yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Okay. What was it?
Yeah, so it was like, hold on, let me just read that back.
Okay.
It was just like being in alignment, but I'll take it.
Okay. I thought alignment, but then you said climax, so I was like, okay,
Well,
ecstasy.
yeah, that
Got
you're good. You're good. That's right. I'll take
it.
it.
Okay.
All
All right.
right. So, yeah, next I just wanted to talk about, okay, so you have your clothing line, a Cindy, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like an affirmation clothing line. How did you come up with that?
Oh, I love Ascendi. Well, I was thinking about a name for it, and it took me a while. And then Ascendi came to me because of that scripture where Jesus is like, "Little girl, rise up, Talitha Kumi," and so the answer to that is to ascend, to rise. And so then the word ascendi came, and I was like, "Oh." And the heart behind that is just that no matter where you are on your fitness journey or mental or life journey, that you can always choose to rise and get back up. And so that's why I call it Ascendi. And the clothes have different affirmations that are corresponding with the elements. For example, there's an elemental line that's water. So it's a water, the bra is a water, and it says, I am resilient. And then there's a fire one that's I am powerful. I think we have earth, I am balanced. So I was correlating the elements with the different affirmations. And then the other ones are more warrior theme or just more simple, sleek, but have the affirmation inside of the shirt. Because some people don't want to wear them outside. So I was like, okay, what if we put them on the
That's
inside? And then you can still, yeah, so then you can still, feel that when you put it on and feel good for yourself. So the heart of Ascendi is just to have empowering clothes when you work out or you go about your day. And I'm working on the playlists for it. It's going to obviously have music. So there's affirmation songs and playlists for the workout that couple with it. And we're going to drop that soon once I'm done with it. It's been a lot of work, but it's good work. I'm a perfectionist, so I want to drop it when it's ready, but it'll be an app that you can download and then play or have a workout playlist of affirmations and then correspond it to your workout and retraining of your mind. So that was the heart behind Ascending.
nice. That's fantastic. And you know what they say about
Thank you.
perfectionism.
Oh, tell me.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect, just do it.
That's thank you. I received that. Thank you. I appreciate
From
that.
love.
No, I appreciate that. You're absolutely right. That's actually something I'm working on because I've always been a perfectionist and it's been, not good. So, in the sense of like it comes out good, but the process was very resistant versus flow, like you said, just let it happen, just do it. And sometimes sometimes the things that I see that I'm perfect like focused on, hyper focused on, people are like, I don't even notice that. Like, so I think that you're absolutely right. So thank you for that. Thank you for getting me right.
Oh yeah. I mean, but I can only say that because I relate, right?
Hmm.
I am just a really dual person, which is not
Hmm.
best. It's great for being
Hmm.
balanced, but also it's like have two competing sides. So I'm very structured
Right.
on one side, but on the other side, I'm
Hmm.
very like impulsive.
Yeah.
So uh but I end up being very detail oriented. So I'll go down the rabbit hole of all the details and then I'll be like, yeah, I was just trying to do this one thing and now I'm all the way over here. And I realize, like,
Yeah.
okay, kind of just reel that in a bit, um, and not be so
Hmm.
detailed because that turns to taking up too much time when you can just put it out there.
Right. No, you're
Because
right. And once you put it out there, then the snowball like goes, versus just sitting. I think a lot of artists, we sit on it and we're like, well, it got to be right, it got to be perfect, then I can drop it, and it's like, just let it go.
hey, and actually, yeah, that's something I'm telling myself right now, because life is a
Mm.
practice, right? You have to always remind
Hmm.
yourself. And so I have like all my projects, and one is very time consuming, and it's a lot of things that go into it. And I
Right.
want it to be like I envision it in my head. So I'm like, really?
Mm.
But I'm like, no, just let it go. However it comes out. Just
Right.
go with the flow.
Yes.
And
Thank
it's
you.
so much better. It's awesome.
Yes. Yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
This, for example, this wasn't even supposed to happen this year. Yeah,
Really?
no, I had no intention on doing this, because I have a
Wow.
million other projects, and I
Uh-huh.
totally didn't want to be on camera this year. But here we are,
Why?
because I'm an introvert, and so yeah,
Oh,
but you know, life
here we
life
are.
had other plans. Said do this thing, and here we are.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, yes. And so next, I want to talk about your song War Cry. I mean, what a
Okay.
powerful song. How did you get the
Thank
inspiration for that?
you. War Cry. I was in a really dark, was in a really dark space.
Hence the
I was,
title. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was in a dark space and didn't really know what was next and how I was gonna get through it. And then I heard in my head there must have been something in the water that kept me breathing just a bit longer, and I was like, oh, we're writing a song, okay. And so, because I'm mad and crying and upset, because I didn't know what was going to happen, but then I wrote down the lyrics and I sang it, and it came out, and then I really started crying because I knew that despite the circumstance, God still had me, and it was going to be okay. And so um, I wrote it, and then I decided I wanted to do a video that included people from different backgrounds and that have differences. Like if you watched it,
Yeah.
there's somebody that has a prosthetic leg, Mona. She's fabulous. She has an organization and she's a model, just fabulous woman. So I wanted to showcase that. And then we had somebody else that had a cochlear implant. We had a trans woman. We just had people with different backgrounds and different things that maybe somebody would, let's say, discriminate them for. And I wanted to showcase them in a way of like flip that on its head and be like, no, this is powerful, this is beautiful, and be inclusive, because a lot of times models in the industry, you have to look a certain way, or and I was like, nah, we're gonna flip this, and we're gonna make it so different, and have people from different ethnicities and just backgrounds and stories, and have warriors. And so that's how we shot the video. It was a very grueling video shoot, because I was underwater in that scene that you saw. Like, that was a lot. And then we were on top of the mountain, and my feet were like bleeding because I was getting cuts from the thing. Like, it was a lot, but worth it. And love my team, Ash, and everybody else on the team. Ash is my right hand. She's my right hand. So she shot it, and it was worth it in the end. And just seeing how beautiful it came out and how powerful everybody looked and was, honestly. And my hope is that if people watch it or listen to it, that it's their anthem, that no matter how dark it is or how hard it is, that you're gonna keep going. And must have been something in the water that kept me breathing just a bit longer. So just keep pushing it a little bit harder, because your victory is right there. So that's
Yes.
my hope with the song.
I mean, yeah, I watched it, and I mean, wow, beautiful cinematography, and
Thank you.
yeah,
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot to me that you say that.
yeah,
Thank you so
yeah.
much, because there was a lot of work put into
Oh
that. So
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
absolutely.
That
It
means a
was
lot.
really awesome, and
Thank
it
you.
just made me reflect on like my own journeys. And like you said,
Mm.
there is light on the other side, but sometimes it's hard to see that when
Yes.
you're in the midst of it. I
Yes.
was just really coming to the realization last year that I was like,
Uh-huh.
think now at this point in my life, I can say that I resonate with being an ex-depressed, ex-anxious, ex-suicidal type
Oh, I
person.
like it.
Yeah.
Okay, X.
Yes.
Yes, I like
Yes.
that.
X.
Okay, I love
Yes.
it.
And
So what did you do to become an
yeah,
X?
so pretty much it was a co-creation. It wasn't just me, it was with the universe. Um, it was through heartbreak, right? We either yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I understand
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I was in a long-term relationship and I
Mm.
realized that we were no longer in alignment. And it was really
Mm-hmm.
difficult, right? Because that was the only thing. It was like it was a good relationship. I
Mm.
mean, but
Mm.
things weren't really adding up. Like, maybe you're not,
Mm.
I don't see you in the direction that I'm going type of thing. But it's like,
Right.
I still love you 1,000%. So it was really difficult to be
Mm.
like, hey, yeah, this is not going to work, but I still love you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's
yeah,
hard.
it was
How long were y'all together?
for almost 6 years. Um,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and I really was like, wow, okay. I kind of should have known when I was like, well, maybe I'll marry this person. It's like it shouldn't be a maybe after that long, either you want to or you don't. And
Mm-hmm.
just sometimes you tend to lose yourself in relationships, and that's where the alignment
Mm-hmm.
came in. I was like, oh, okay, like this person, like I literally have been writing my entire life and they didn't even know I wrote until after we broke up.
Wow.
Yes, which leads me to the next part. We broke up and it was really like, I thought like, okay, it's something wrong with me. I'm going to fix it. Maybe I have to fix and
Mm.
try to align back with you. And then when we
Mm.
reconnected, like a year later, I was like, oh, no,
Right.
absolutely
Uh-huh.
not. But then I was like, heartbreak twice. Because I was
Oh
like, oh, I really am gonna like
no.
work hard to get back with this person. And then I realized like, oh wait. And then I was like, yeah, this is like I feel like I'll never find anyone good enough. And so I was just like heartbroken.
Mm.
And that really led to depression, which led to writing. You know. And
Mm-hmm.
so I ended up writing my book, my first book during that time. Yeah,
Yay!
yeah, totally. And I was like, wow,
Alchemizing the
exactly.
pain.
And that's through writing that, that's when I realized, like, oh, wait, you don't need, like, the only love you need is the love of God, of the universe. Like, that is the greatest love of all. You cannot, there
That's
is
true.
no physical thing on this earth, even though, animals can come close. And if you're lucky,
Right.
you'll find that person, and, but the love
Mm-hmm.
of God is the greatest love of all. And once you feel that
Mm-hmm.
love, then you feel supported. You feel like you can
Yeah.
do anything. And so, really, that led
Yeah.
me into my Kundalini awakening. And that was a rough
Mm-hmm.
time. But yeah, I thought
Uh-huh.
I pretty much said, oh, I lost my mind. Yeah, I broke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
it. I understand.
But it was
Well,
also
I'm
beautiful.
glad that you're on the other side
Oh,
now. That's
yeah,
great. That's
yeah. It was a
awesome.
long journey. It was very long. But then
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh, wow, it's been like 4 years that I haven't had any of those thoughts or
Mm.
anything. Yeah,
Yay!
right.
That's
But
awesome.
in that,
And
just,
it can inspire other people
yeah,
because there's so many people that deal with that, and that part when it gets dark like that, I think a lot of people don't see another
right.
way. So I think that your mission is very important because I love that you said that you're an depressed person, anxious person, suicidal person. I think that's so powerful, and you sharing that with somebody that might be going through that right now, that could be really powerful. So I hope that people listening are hearing you right now.
Yeah, it's light on the other side, even if you don't see
There's light.
it.
Yes.
Yes, and one of
Yes.
those things that helped me through, that's always been my guiding star in life, is music. And I feel like
Mm.
the universe speaks to me through music. And it's a true feeling.
Yes.
It's the like it literally will give me like whole messages and songs, and I'd be like, oh,
Same. And it's really funny because like I think you probably have what I have where you can hear the things when they're not like the radio station is not turned on yet, but you hear the song already and then you turn it on and it starts at the part and it's like, wait.
yeah, yeah,
And then so and then especially if people communicate through music and then you'll hear like a song and you're like, this is what you're telling me right now. It's really funny.
right, right. No, yeah, yeah. Yes, that's serious, but that's I do take my music extremely serious because I know that that's one of the ways that the universe talks to me. And
Mm.
I was talking to another guest that I'm going to have, and he's also a
Hmm.
musician, and he said he sees life through frequencies. What do you think about that?
Cool. I love that. I want to talk to him.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, when I was talking to him, I'm like, oh, that would be great if we could do like a dual episode with both you guys, because
That would be
yeah,
fun.
yeah, he's awesome. I sent him this band that I've been listening to, and we're gonna nerd out about it. But
Oh, I want to nerd out. Send it to me.
okay, yeah, I'll send it to you. It's like
Okay.
they're the inspiration. They're actually, I'll tell you this quick story. So for
Okay.
the past 6 months, I've been
Mhm.
now this band I really liked in high school, but I hadn't listened
Mhm.
to them since then. But I really liked them,
Mhm.
so I always kept them on my library. And just
Mhm.
out of nowhere, it's like this 5 set of albums called the Acts 1 through 5, and it's about
Okay.
a story about a boy, and it follows him through his life from the time that he was born, his mother dies, he leaves home, and then he dies through the 5 acts. And
Oh wow.
yeah, it's really, yeah, but
Mhm.
this it started playing in my head like album through album, and it was going through the songs, but I didn't listen to it yet. I'm just like, why? But then I started listening to it, and then that's when it helped me with this musical that I'm writing. It actually helped me
Mm.
figure out how to structure the theme throughout the entire series by listening to them, because they have 5 albums that have a theme. And so it's really
That's
cool. Yeah,
cool.
it's amazing. Like through each song they'll put like the notes of the song from the previous album, so you know what they're about to talk about. And so it's just really
Mm.
intricate, but it actually helped me when I was stuck trying to figure out how I'm going to structure this musical. And then that popped in my head out of nowhere after 10 plus years, right?
Wow. I want an invitation to the musical. I want to come see it.
Oh, it is an animated musical, so it
Okay,
will.
then you can send me the link.
Yes, yes, yes. And that won't be until March of next year. Yes.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Okay.
but this is how music works in my life. It is a very important part. It's my North Star, I realize.
Oh, I love that. That's so good.
Yes. How has music helped guide you through life?
I think the same way, or how you were saying a North Star, I think that it's definitely been similar for me. Um, I've always had music as my way to, like I said, be cathartic or express or heal.
Yeah.
And I've been studying it since I was small. Like I remember my first memory was like I would take those old VHS players and I would make music videos
Mm,
like and do cinematography with
mm.
it. Like I was very serious. I was very serious. My stuffed animals all were my audience. Like everybody, any humans coming needed to pay entrance. I was very serious. And so then I joined choir and theater in middle school and high school, and then I went to college. I got my degree, so I studied professionally, and then did professional stuff. And so it's always been with me, and I think that there was a time that I got burnt out, I would say, and jaded because of the industry and feeling like, what's the point? But I think I'm rediscovering that it's my gift and that it's a blessing and not something I should take for granted, because I realized one time, I don't know what I was doing. I was doing something and I was like, I'm upset over this thing with the industry or whatever. But in reality, what a gift to be able to write songs and to be able to sing and to share it with people. Like, why am I mad? Doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, like it's a blessing that I shouldn't take for granted and I shouldn't shut down just because toxicity, like they don't determine what I do or what I've been sent here to do. So I am an artist, period. Like that doesn't, nobody approves of me but God. Like
Nice.
God has already approved of me, so I don't care what you got to say about me. you know? So really leaning into that has freed me, I think, from the pressure that is all of the other
Yeah.
stuff. But music itself, just music itself, has been definitely. It just kind of flows through my veins. I don't know. It's kind of like how we have blood that goes through our veins. It's kind of the same with music for me. It just runs in the background until I pull it out. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I can relate, except I don't make music, right? Well, yeah.
But you should, because obviously you're a musician, so you should.
I have way too many hobbies, so it's one of
Mm,
those things where I'm good at a lot of things, which is a problem. Yeah.
I
So I
get
have
it.
to
I get
pick and
it.
choose. But yeah.
But I honestly think that because you have such a love, like you might be a producer, like, and a writer. So maybe just sit by the piano and just play around and see, or even, play with different VST instruments or AIs or whatever that can help construct the song. Cause it's now getting easier than ever to create. Back in the day, you had to track everything in. Now you can just have the AI do it. So I just think playing with different things could be fun.
Yeah, I do that in my spare time. Uh, I
Okay.
play around in Band Labs, and then I also use Suno AI, which is amazing. So those two
Mm-hmm.
together are helping me create this musical. It does take a lot of prompting, even if you prompt meticulously, but it is
Right.
much quicker than
Yes.
trying
The
to. Yeah.
the regular process
Yes.
that yeah, it amazed me because, I'm in the studio, like when I'm cutting vocals, I'm doing like 100 layers sometimes, right? Because of the background vocals and all the stuff. And it takes so long and it's very meticulous work. And then even tracking each instrument and then mixing it and mastering. And so when I saw people doing Suno, and I was just like, this thing is creating like radio ready stuff in 30 seconds, and it freaks me out because I'm over here like for weeks recording, like
Yeah, but see, that's also why I did create my other podcast because it's talking about integrating AI into art. This is for the artists and all the artists that are
mm-hmm.
like, no AI. And I'm like, no, yes, AI, because like you just said, if you can streamline certain processes, that you can
Yes.
get it together quicker. That song I played you earlier, I made that between the two, Band
Mm-hmm.
Labs and Suno AI, and
Right.
it was quick.
No, I think streamlining is fantastic. I think my only worry becomes with copyright in the sense of like image and
Oh
voice for the
yes,
artists.
yes.
Once it starts training,
Mm.
I'm just like, oh, where's the line?
Oh,
How we
actually,
protect
yes.
it?
I was just talking about that yesterday. Actually, the ethical
Mm.
part of that.
Yeah, because like when they're training, and I'm not anti AI, I love me some AI. I'm just saying the ethical part of some AI is training on unauthorized stuff and
Right.
just people that have done, 20 years of work and the AI is ripping it. It hurts my feelings, So
Yeah.
it's just like where do we find a happy place to integrate
It's all
AI
about
and let it,
regulations. Yeah.
Right, right. Yeah, no, I'm not anti. I love AI. I just want to do it in a way that's ethical and fair to the artists And so I'm all about it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's not regulated like it should be. And that's more of a governmental systems problem than AI problem, right?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, so yeah, but AI is awesome. AI has helped me do so
Yes.
much, and I am so appreciative of AI. So,
Same.
all right. And so let's bring it in here. Back to the mothership. And so for all the people who are artists out there and they're trying to put out their stuff and just fearing like social media, what people are going to think, maybe wondering if they're good enough, what would you say to them?
Mm. I would say turn down the dial of the noise that's negative and turn up the music. Turn up the love ship. So if you have a vision in your heart, a dream in your heart, you have music, you have a play, you have a script, you have a musical, whatever project, app, I don't care what it is. If you know that's in there, then turn down all the voices that say that you're not good enough, that it's not the right time, you don't have resources, you don't have all of that negative stuff. Turn that off and turn on the part of inspiration, and then just let it happen. And don't get caught up in the social, everyone. Because the social will have you doubting and just checking numbers and checking all of those things. That's not the heart of what you're doing. So you have to tune that out and just focus on the art and on the vision and let it execute, and then trust that it's going to find the people that it's supposed to, and that they will resonate with it. And enjoy the process
Yes.
too. Don't get frustrated. And I'm speaking from experience, because I would get really frustrated and tired, and so now I'm finding the joy again. So find the joy. Don't listen to the naysayers and the negativity, and just create your art, because you don't know who you're going to reach. So maybe how you shared that you're an person with anxiety or depression, that might save somebody. We don't know. Like, somebody might watch this podcast and hear that and be like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm gonna stay a little longer. And that is powerful. So if you had said, I can't do the podcast right now, I don't really want to talk about that, I don't, then that person wouldn't have found that message. So the people listening, the message that your song or your art has is important to somebody. So drop it, bring it out, and ignore the noise.
Absolutely. I think that's well said, right? Because
Thank you.
hey, if people let others get in their way, we wouldn't have so many wonderful things, right?
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I say embrace the weirdness. Be a weirdo.
Yes, be weird.
Yes. The weirder the better. I mean, well,
Yes.
uh, balance, right? Don't be,
Balance.
so weird. But
Be a cool
yeah,
weirdo.
yes, but yes, I feel like just be yourself. That's the most important thing we can do, because that's where our superpowers lie, in our uniqueness. And we all have like all of these wonderful things about us that we should share with the world in this global society that we are now living in, which we've been living in for a while. You have access to so much. So if the people around you don't understand you, then yeah, maybe hop on and show yourself and find your people in another country or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
This is a
Yeah.
big
There you
world
go.
of 8+ billion people.
Right. Exactly.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, look, and I can say as a 100% introvert, I really,
Mm.
you know,
I can tell that you're 100% introvert.
yeah. Well, also I have a background in theater, so
Okay.
Yes.
There you go. That's probably why.
So I can just turn it on and be like, and
Yes.
then also being an
Yes.
introvert, when you go out, it is like you're performing, right? So you do have to
Oh,
kind
I
of,
understand
yeah,
that.
perform it on everyday life. So it comes out
Hmm.
natural. But,
I understand that completely.
yeah, but just me being like, I really, this is different. This is uncomfortable. This is like, I was super nervous, like doing this. Like, I was like, oh, because like I said, I
Oh,
didn't even want to be on camera this year.
but you're doing
The
amazing.
universe said, hey, do this thing. And I was like,
You're
okay.
doing amazing.
Yes, and I appreciate that. And yeah, but if I can do it, pretty much, I know that's so cliche. If you can do it, you can do it. But it's real.
That's right.
Cliches are cliches for a
Yes.
reason. They're the truth.
And I get the introvert thing because I'm the same. I people think I'm an extrovert because I'm a performer. So then they think, no, you love the stage, and I do love the stage. I love when I'm connecting with the audience and I feel their energy. But like when it comes to going out, like to a party or like social
Mm.
events, I don't love that all the time
Yeah.
because I like to be in my little bubble. So on stage I'm having a great time, but when it comes to like socializing, I can be sometimes a little awkward because I'm uncomfortable because I'm an introvert, you know? So I totally get
Yeah.
it. So I think that overcoming the shyness and the nerves and just pushing through, I think you should be really proud of yourself and excited about this chapter.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's just being trained as a performer. So I always had to just kind
Yes.
of turn it on.
Do it.
Yeah.
Turn it
If you
on. Action.
Yeah. So people would never know. People will be like, you just seem so life of the party. And I'm like, I,
Right.
got strategic. I like to gather a lot of people together and then creep off in the
Ah.
background because now they can
Oh,
socialize.
that's
Yeah.
smart. Now they can
Hmm.
socialize. That's
That's a trick
good.
for everyone. Yeah,
Ah.
do that.
So that's what I have to do is
Yes.
just invite a lot of people and let them talk
Yes.
amongst
Hmm.
themselves. Okay.
Absolute trick. But yeah, but just that, I feel like 2025 is a
Hmm.
very important year.
Okay.
It is the year of the wood snake.
Uh-huh.
This means a rebirth for the planet.
Okay.
And so many people are getting activated at this time.
Okay.
And I feel like this
This-
beginning of the activation.
okay.
There was one thing that came in my mind doing this, and I heard this
Hmm.
term, and it said, can you feel the pulse of the awakening? And I thought that was
Okay.
extremely deep.
That is very
But
deep.
in the meditation that I do every morning,
Hmm.
I actually tuned in to the pulse of the universe.
Ooh. What does it sound like?
It is very slow and deep
Mm-hmm.
and just really feels like a warm embrace.
I want to tune into that. That sounds
Yes,
nice.
there's this new meditation I started doing during that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so with my meditations, it involves breath work. But
Okay.
when you hold your breath at the top, you bring in all the energy of the universe. And then when you exhale,
Mm.
you bring it down into the earth like you're setting roots. And
Mm.
so for this, and for all of my future projects, I'm setting my
Mm.
roots all around the globe in this meditation.
I like it.
But in
I
that,
like it.
the pulse of the awakening came with it. And I'm sending
Mm.
the pulse of love. But the universe
Mm.
started that. And it's
I
activating
like it.
people all over the world. And I think many people are ready for this.
Mm.
What do you think about
I
that?
love that. I think that's very powerful. I think that that's what we need. And I think that a lot of artists have been working, like, they've been underground for so long and nobody knows, and now is the time for them to get their moment. Like, they've been grinding, they've been having projects that are amazing that nobody has known because they didn't have the support of the machine. But now it's like a time that it's, I feel like, flipping, where it's like now it's the underground and the indies that are like, here we
Yeah.
are, and the people are getting to really connect with the message, and it's no longer just about industry, which I think is so good. So I agree with you. I think it's powerful.
Yeah. And I've also talked to a lot of people, and they mentioned dragons. Have you felt dragon energy?
Oh, I love dragons. Yeah, I have felt dragon energy, but I think I felt that in
Mm-hmm.
December. Yeah, I love dragons.
Yeah. And I think that also ties into it being the year of the snake. So, and also,
Mm.
as far as astrology goes, Pluto has exited Capricorn and has entered into Aquarius for the next 20 years.
Mm.
And so it's all about
Mm-hmm.
expansion. It's all about innovation.
Mm.
And all
Mm-hmm.
the old systems and structures are being broken down for something new to be rebuilt.
Ooh, I'm getting
Yes.
chills. Mm-hmm.
So I feel like everyone who felt like they couldn't break through because of all of these
Oof.
structures put into place, well, that's gone now. And just like you said in the beginning, where you're creating this thing, but you don't have a blueprint. And I was just talking to someone a couple weeks ago about how I don't have a blueprint, but there's this thing I'm creating, and I absolutely know that this is going to happen. And
Sorry, you're making me really emotional. Okay, continue.
yeah, hey, this is a safe space. And so
Yeah.
there's no limits right now. This is utter expansion. This is a time where there are no guidelines, no structures. People like you and I, and other people that are actually out here doing the stuff, we are laying the groundwork pretty much. And so, what that means for everyone is there's no blueprint. You don't have to try to do it this way or that way. That no longer works. What's going to work is just really trusting and believing in whatever it is that you bring to the table. That's it. Because right now, if you have that feeling, then you are being activated. This is all intentional. Nothing is just there, nothing is random at all. So, yeah, it's just, we got to believe, we got to trust this. That's why you got to lead with love, because there are two brains that we have. We have our actual brain, and then our heart has a brain. And we have to lead from the heart brain, because it's actually way more powerful. Because we can be brain dead and still be alive, but you can't be heart dead and be alive,
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta kind of not turn it off, but you have to balance it out. And that's something I had to learn, because I am a very illogical person, while at the same time being very, like, I'm an Aquarius, but I'm also a cusp baby. I'm Capricorn energy, very strong. I was literally born at midnight between the two. So I'm very structured, but then I'm an air sign. And then my North Node is Pisces. So I'm just like all over the place. Like, I'm very structured, but then I'm like dreamy, and then, it's all over the place. But once you balance that energy out, the head and heart coherence, that state of homeostasis is when you flourish the most. But when there's a battle between the two, you must listen to your heart first, because that's the more powerful entity, I guess, Yeah, I just went somewhere. I don't even know where I was going, and that just came out. Yeah, I was okay. I'm good.
That was for me, and of course your viewers, but that was kind of very you just read me. So I'm a little emotional because that message was for me, so thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that.
Okay, well, yeah, thank you. I guess spirit used me, I guess. But
Yes, I hear y'all. Thank you.
You're welcome. But yeah, like you said, for you, for everyone, I can't even express it, like put it into words, the energy that I feel. Like, if anyone out there is thinking of doing anything, I say do it. You have nothing to lose.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And you know what I loved? What you said, that it's a new season where the old structures don't work and anything goes. That's so powerful because for me, I have worked so hard and trained on so many old structures, right? And I felt like I was hidden for so long. So for you to say that it's time, and I do feel like now is my time when I'm being seen and being, people are recognizing what's happening and seeing the vision now. And I want to encourage somebody that feels not seen and feels like, oh, well, nobody's doing, like, now is the time. Let it happen, So I really appreciate what you said, and that there are no rules. Like, if you don't want to do social, don't do social. If you don't want to do that, don't do it. Like, it doesn't matter anymore, Like, find your own way. Because I thought, oh, it had to be like this. It had to be like this. And I felt like, oh, why is it not working? Why is it not working? And I'm realizing, like, they have a path for me, and I have to surrender and trust it and stop fighting, and then, and the reason I'm like, I hear y'all is because they're telling me that I need to be doing something, and I've been kind of being procrastinating. So I I hear them in the sense of like, okay, I'll do it.
Hey, if I didn't learn anything these past 4 years, is to whatever they say do, you need to do it.
Do it. That's right.
Yeah. Like I said, it was no joke. I literally didn't listen, and it kind of nudged me like a long time. And to hit that brick wall and to, that's why I can talk about structures, because everything that I built up and structured for my life was ripped away, and it said, "I'm ripping this Band-Aid off now. What are you gonna do?" And there's nothing. You got to figure it out. It's like,
Yeah.
But
no, I understand.
It actually
That's powerful.
was freeing. I felt like, wow, wait a second.
Yeah.
This is
how exciting too.
Good. Yeah.
How exciting of all of the artists that are coming out, like all of the people that are now getting their moments, like how exciting, all the new creativity that's coming,
Yes.
That's exciting because it's not conventional, so it's cool and it's different.
Right.
Like, your show is awesome. I love that we're in the spaceships. I love all of it. Like, it's such a vibe, and like, if you would have been like, no, I have to structure it like a regular podcast, and we would have just been in the studio and like, with the 2 mics and with the backlighting, but instead you decided, I'm gonna do it different. I'm gonna do it my way. And I love that, so how exciting.
Hey, one thing, this is like what I'll say to people who are in their heads about it. I'm in my head every day. I am an Aquarius and I'm an introvert, right? All those things mixed together. It's always in there. But the actual act of doing, you don't have to think about it. Just like literally when I started talking to you all, I had no idea how I was going to do this because I didn't even plan to do it. But as I went through the motions, it was so effortless how everything came to me. And so you don't even have to know what you're doing. You just start messing around and start doing stuff. And when you're in that flow state, and when you're aligned, most importantly, with your highest path, then it's not even work. Like, it's not work at all.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like this was the perfect first meeting here.
Yeah. I get to be the first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a great introduction for everyone, because this is not just a podcast. These are literal, as you just saw. And, these are transmissions from
transmission.
The universe. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be your first spaceship guest.
Yes, fantastic. I'm so glad that you came here. I'm so glad that everything worked out and we had this conversation. I received messages from you as well, so it's definitely good. But yeah, so where where does the universe guide you next?
Where does it guide me? I am dropping a new song. I think it's coming in February. We'll see. It's a fun one. It's very different. And so, yeah, I will keep you posted when that comes out. But right now, I'm just working on Ascendi, music, and the new song. I'm traveling a bit, so I'm going to be at the beach, which I'm really excited about. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Awesome. And yeah, definitely let me know when you drop that, and we'll put it out here for everyone to see.
Thank
and
you.
We'll have all of your, actually, we'll have a little QR code for everyone. If you could see a QR code, and it will take you to all of your links, everyone out there.
Okay.
And yeah, they can find you that way.
Thank you.
But thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
All right. And until next time, guys. Oh, okay. I wasn't ready for that level of soul activation. Arden, lock.
Already done. You're glowing, by the way.
What? It's just hot in here. Let's take us to the next destination.
The land of childhood dreams.